Hi guys, today I'm going to show you a little bit how to use Google Sites. The first step that you need to take in utilizing Google Sites is making sure that you have a Google account. So my school, we all have Google accounts, and so that's the one that I'm currently using. You can see a couple that I've already created. This is my class Google site that I use, and I will share this with you guys too so that you can see. And don't worry about this one. So the first thing that you have to do is click the little plus sign at the bottom, and it says create new site. So once you click on that, it will open to a new page, and this is exactly what it looks like. So in my reading class, students are going to create their own Google site, and we'll have a couple of different tabs for them to use. But the first thing that they're going to do, where it says your page title, all that you have to do is just click on it, and you can automatically change it. So this is where students will type their name, first and last, and they will be able to, if they want to add an image for the background, they can do this now, and they can also change the header type, and I'll show you what that looks like. So it can either be a large banner, it could just be a banner, which is typically what they choose, or it could just be the title only. So we're going to stay with the banner. And if you look on the right-hand side, the tabs that it has is Insert, Pages, and Themes. So it's fairly simple to use. Anytime that you want to add something to your Google site, you will just go to the Insert page. So you can add text boxes, images, you can embed links, or you can upload files as well. So the first thing that we're going to do is create a text box. So I would ask my students to type anything you want Ms. Flores to know about you. This can include hobbies, interests, or things you would like to learn this year in reading class. I'm going to give them instructions that say below, please add a photo of yourself. And so what they will do once they click off of this, and you can adjust these too, you can move them below pictures and rearrange if you'd like to. But they would click on images, and let's say I'll go to my Google Drive, and let's find an image. I will just do this one that I use for all of my Google accounts. So they're going to add this here. You can also readjust it. I like things to be balanced, so I would add mine in the middle. And like I was saying earlier, you can add this above, but I have given them instructions to add it below, so I'm going to keep it down here. Oops. And whenever you do something that you would maybe not like to do, you just do the back button. Okay, so this is where I would like to keep this. So the next thing that they can do, they can upload things from their Google Drive. Something that I have had, sorry, this is from my files on my computer. Something that I have done, and that you can see in my next video is if I upload something from Drive, I've had my students create I have created a book suggestion page. So anytime that I am uploading something to my Google site, I just have a folder of website uploads. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to click on this book suggestions right here. So I'm going to exit out of this. You can readjust this. You can make it larger, maybe. Whoop. Maybe it's in a second. You can do it. Anyway, it's just going to ask you a couple of questions to fill out. You can also add videos from YouTube. And whenever you click on this, it's just asking you if you search something. So we could search for water cycle. and then it's going to pull up all of these different videos. So I'm just going to include this very first one. You choose select, and here it is. And this is where you can make it a little bit bigger if you want your students to find it a little bit easier. You can add things from your Google Calendar. If that's something that you utilize, you can also include a map of something. If you maybe you're a coach and you want to include directions or just easy access for students or parents to find the location of the upcoming events, you can do that as well. So something that I would highly suggest is if you are going to be utilizing this for your classroom, especially for students to navigate through, I would even give your parents access to this just so that they can see the cool things that you're doing in class. You're going to go to Pages, and the way that you do this, anytime in Google, you're just going to add a new page, or you can even add a new link. But you would just click on this new page, and one of the things that I added for my own personal class was like resources. So it could be notes. We do online newsletters, so I've also included that. But we will do student resources. We will add this, and it automatically saves all of the work that you've been doing. That's another reason that I utilize Google all of the time, is so I don't have to worry about losing something. You can also create subpages within this. And if you notice up here, it has like the tabs of all of your pages. And so it just makes it a whole lot easier for students to access. Another thing that you can do, again, if you need to insert anything, this is where you would do this. You also can create a divider so you can make your sections more blocked off. One of the things that the kids love to do is kind of make this their own. And this is something that we want them to do because we will be utilizing it all throughout the school year. So students have the ability, and you have the ability, to go through and choose whichever theme that you would like. So if we choose this one down here where it says impression, it automatically changes it. And then the colors down here, the color scheme, it basically just changes this divider right here. So I'm just going to leave it red. And one thing that you want to do before you actually publish it, so you have to publish it in order for other people to be able to access it. Most of the time, whenever I am publishing things within my school domain, I don't have any issues with anybody having access to it. But if you're going to have your parents have access to this as well, you want to be able to publish it outside of just your school domain. So if you look right here where it kind of looks like a little eye, it says preview. And so you'll be able to actually see what your website is going to look like. So then students can just scroll down here and see all of the cool things that you have included. Then they can go over here to student resources and see that as well. Something that I will show you is my own Google Sites. So the site that you go to is sites.google.com. This is like the older version. So if you click on New Google Sites, that's where it's going to look like this. And you can see some of the students from last year that I had. But this one that I'm going to be showing you right now, this is what I'm actually using this year in school. I'm going to do the preview page just so that you can see it a little bit better. So again, I teach 7th grade reading, and then this just has a little blurb about me, a picture of my family, what I'm working on currently, my master's, and just kind of giving my students and parents just a quick thought that I have for the year. I also have created an email signature that I've included so that students and parents can follow our class accounts. The next tab that I have is my calendar. Obviously, we're not in school right now, but if there was anything that was upcoming, this is where students would be able to see upcoming due dates, anything that we have going on in school. So this looks a little bit different than it would whenever we were actually in school. And if you look right here for resources, I have notes, the Panther Press newsletter. I teach 7th grade, and we just compile a newsletter every other week that lets parents know what we're doing in class. We include pictures and upcoming reminders. I have a tab for curriculum, and I'm going to show you guys that in just a second. But it kind of just gives an outline for the year and the day and kind of what we're going to be looking at. And then I also have a supply list. So I'll show you for the curriculum. The book that I am currently reading is called 180 Days, and it is amazing for any reading or writing teachers out there. But it encouraged me to think about my year as a whole and figure out each week what we will be doing. And so that's what I've included here. So parents can see that. Students have zero question about what's coming up. And then I've also included a template for one day. And so parents and teachers are able to see, okay, this is really what they're doing each day. This is just kind of the way that the class is set up. Also, my school requires me to create a curriculum video for parents to watch at the beginning of the year. And it just lets them know what we're going to be studying this year, what a typical day in my classroom looks like, how to contact me, and then tutoring schedules as well. Reading workshop. I don't have anything on this currently, but as we go through different reading workshops, I will post videos, notes, all different kinds of things, even just pictures of maybe notes or helpful things for students here so that they have access to it. My favorite section of my Google site is book club. I'm a reading teacher, so reading is super close to my heart. And so I've just given students some of the books, even some of the series that I really enjoy reading. I have my own classroom library, and so all of these books can be found in there. So I'm just kind of giving them a starting point. I've included this fabulous teacher. Her name is Perennial Rip, and she is a great resource for any reading or writing teachers out there. But students can scroll through here and they can see even more book suggestions. So this is a pretty lengthy one, so I won't go all the way through that. But this is the same Google form that I included earlier. But I really want to hear from my students. And I know that a lot of them have read things that I haven't. And so I am simply asking them to fill this out. They have to include the title, the author of the book that they're suggesting, the genre of the book. That's how my classroom is set up, is by genre. And then I'm asking them to do a little bit of persuasion, especially if I'm going to buy this book, just for why I want to read it. And the last thing that I have on my Google site is my tutoring schedule. During this school year, I even can put up the different things that I'm going to be going over each week. And so this is just another reminder, hey, I want you guys to come in before or after school. We have a 30-minute session before lunch every single day that teachers can utilize for tutoring. So anyway, this is kind of Google Sites in a nutshell. If you guys have any more questions, I would be more than happy to answer them.